All right, you guys. This your boy Becky Joe with another one. Um, let's get down to business. So, despite the bounce back win by the Lakers against the Utah Jazz, reports are out that Frank Vogel job is in serious jeopardy. LeBron and made good on his promise to bounce back. What's up, Pick Minnows and Gideon? Appreciate y'all for being up in here. He got his wish that his team would play harder, and that with a 101 95 win over the Utah by two franchise icons. And the most vocal of the franchise icon was Magic Johnson. After that 37-point loss at the hands of the Denver Nuggets, Magic pretty much berated the Lakers for its lack of energy and effort and lack of give a damn. And that Frank Vogel actually bought him some time when he caught the Maximus, and that he was out for 2 weeks. Now, this is my personal thoughts on the matter, right? As I alluded to in many videos about how the team was poorly constructed, how they really didn't set Frank Vogel up for success. The roster construction was poor, injuries, poor play by Russell Westbrook, who I felt they shouldn't have traded for in the beginning. It's just one thing after another, and this is the end result. Now, this is consistent with any coach that been on any LeBron James's teams, whether it been Mike Brown, whether it been uh, Denny David Blatt, whether it been who else? So you had Mike Brown, David Blatt, and then you had when Tyronn Lue survived it, Eric Spoelstra survived it. Um, the first coach, Paul Silas. So those three coaches didn't really survive the LeBron James experience. Paul Silas, Mike Brown, and David Blatt. And now Frank Vogel might be added to the list. This is what you got to deal with when you deal with LeBron on a LeBron James team. The pressure to win is great. It's immense. And he's going to be evaluated game by game. So that means at any point the Lakers can fire Frank Vogel after another blowout loss. If the Lakers have another blowout loss like they had against Denver, he's going to be gone. And I don't think that's fair to Frank Vogel. And I really think they're making a big mistake considering that when Frank Vogel was gone and he was out due to health and safety protocols, and they had David Fizdale as their head coach. Now, guess how many games David Fizdale won as interim coach of the Lakers when Frank Vogel was out? Guess how many games they won? One. They won one game. That was the last game before Frank Vogel came back. What's up, Trey? Salute to my homie Trey Knights in the building. So I caution them to not fire Frank Vogel because David Fizdale ain't no upgrade to him anyway, if you ask me. I've seen enough of David Fizdale in Memphis. I've seen enough of him in New York, and I damn sure saw enough of him when he was interim coach of the Lakers. The Lakers were I say they were like either 1-5 or 1-6 when David Fizdale was the interim coach. So seeing that, And then when Frank Vogel came back, if you don't learn the lessons from history, it's going to end up repeating itself. I think Mark Jackson would make a great hire. The problem is, how much control will he have when it comes to the whole LeBron James dynamic? Because when it comes to these, it goes back to what I talked about last night in the live stream when it came to the whole thing about James Harden. You get these players, and then you embolden these players to where if they feel that the coach is not doing whatever they feel, or the coach does something that they don't like, they can just bypass the coach, go to the GM, and in some cases the player can just go past the GM to the owner, voice their frustrations. Owner gets owner feels the need to react, a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, well, you don't like how the coach is doing it? Okay, I'm going to fire the coach. Just let me know what coach you want me to bring in. And then that coach gets fired. And then they bring in whoever they like, and then that dude turns out not to be an upgrade. Or because we catering the players' feelings because player is averaging 30 points and 7 rebounds and 7 assists, and he's putting butts in the seats. Now, I think they're doing a disservice to Frank Vogel by evaluating him from game to game. That means that dude got to pretty much win out. He pretty much got to win out. And then the Lakers' schedule don't get any easier, y'all. The Lakers' schedule is getting far more difficult. They still got to play Phoenix twice. They still got to play the Clippers 3 more times. They still got they got a brutal schedule coming up. After that All-Star break, their schedule gets brutal. You still got to play Golden State 3 more times. So it's not going to be easy for the Lakers, man. Lakers had a cupcake schedule at the beginning. They couldn't take advantage of that for whatever inexplicable reason. Now, you can point to a whole multitude of things, but at the end of the day, they had a cupcake schedule. They didn't get it done. And now they're in a situation where you got the coach in evaluation mode. So that means the coach is pretty much walking on eggshells. That means there could be a case where Russell Westbrook could sabotage Frank Vogel, or LeBron James could sabotage Frank Vogel, or either one of those players could sabotage Frank Vogel. That's where we at right now when it comes to him. He pretty much got to be in win now all the time. And 7th in the West. They're currently seventh in the West at 500, 22-22. Now, for all these guys that was running around out here talking about, we give the Lakers 25 games and then we can evaluate the Lakers now. What y'all got to say now? We like in game 45. They're at 500 at this point in the season. How much more time do they need? So I don't just buy this notion that this coach just need to be in evaluation mode. They just won the championship a couple years ago. They just won the championship a couple years ago. Now you're already talking about firing the dude. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Now, I told you guys before the season began that this team was going to struggle, that the roster was poorly constructed, they're not going to be very good. I called this from the beginning. And if you don't believe me, check my timeline. I talked about this before the season before they even began playing in preseason. I called this. And then they approached the season the wrong way. They approached the season the wrong way. Golden State approached the season the right way by integrating young players and the veterans, playing the minutes, getting the rotations down, getting getting the team philosophy down. Golden State went about it the right way, and that's why they're number one in the Western Conference. The Lakers, on the other hand, went about it the wrong way. Guys sitting out, guys coming in with the wrong mind state. LeBron's like, oh, year 19, I don't got to, at this point of career, there's nothing I can learn. And Russell Westbrook talking about how turnovers don't count in the preseason, and just coming in with the wrong approach. And this is what you see as a result of that wrong approach. What's up, Trey?
What's going on with LB? I'm in total, man. I'm in total 116% agreement with you. Like, it's a time, like, they didn't do this in the 90s. You will see a player be gone before you see the coach. The coach is calling the plays. They're calling their offense. To me, every offense is good if you can execute it. That's the problem. It's the people that, it's just like being in a war. LB, you didn't been over there, and it's just like being strategic in a war. If you don't execute the plan, then it's going to fail if you don't execute.
Right.
It has nothing really to
do. We had a strategic. Before we even win the battle, we talked about it. We rehearsed it. We did all this stuff before we got the battle.
You knew where all your fellow soldiers was going to be at. They knew where you were going to be at. They knew your anticipations, all that.
Right. Because the minute someone doesn't do what they're supposed to do, that means
somebody's dead.
We could die.
Somebody's dead. Yep. Somebody's dead. Exactly. That's just what I was telling Mac. Look, in every game, he was trying to just point out Jordan Clarkson. Oh, man, he's the MVP. He gave him the game. No, hold on. Well, it's an MVP then in every loss, because someone has to mess up on the opposite side for you to execute on it to win.
Right.
It's not, if everybody's playing perfect, then it's going to be hard to win that game. Someone has to make a mistake somewhere down the road, and you have to execute. In every game, someone messes up. If they missed a shot that you feel like they should have made that was open, if they turned the ball over, you're going to look back in the game, you're going to say, damn, that turnover right there, we would have scored instead of turning the ball over, we could have won. So you can't just point out one guy and say he lost the game. More likely, yes, sometimes he did lose the game, but I just feel like the Jazz lost that game. They didn't make the right adjustments. The Lakers did.
Right. And, a lot of times and that's why I could talk to you and I could talk to a few other guys, but a lot of them other dudes, man, I can't really talk to, because there's really no sense of objectivity when it comes to breaking down the game. And it's like, you just can't point to one thing and then, that's the reason why they lost.
No. It's so many things. It's so many things going on. Yeah, it's so many things going on that basketball court for you to just point out at one guy. For him to mess up, that means somebody else probably threw him off. You never know.
Right. That's why I always talk about the game within the game. That's my main thing when it comes to basketball. I don't care. You have, so in the movie you have the plot, but in the movie, in the plot you got subplots. I'm more concerned with the subplots of the movie.
Character build. Character build, character growth while the movie's going on.
Right. Because every action has a reaction. If one person does this, then that forces someone that does something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you just can't, someone can miss an assignment. Somebody, it's just not missing a shot.
Rotations.
Assignment. They were supposed to cut and then stayed, or they didn't run hard enough to the cut. Someone's supposed to be in a particular zone that they weren't in that zone, which allowed a man to shoot the three.
You didn't tell me the pick was come. You called out pick, but you didn't say left or right. Like you saying pick, but I don't know what direction, nothing.
Right. Or like coach calls a play to set a pick for such and such, so such and such can get it open, but the primary ball handler waves them off. And it's like, it's just little stuff like that within the game that can make the determination of who wins and who loses.
Look,
you gotta have a winner and a loser. There ain't no perfect game, and I just wish people would stop talking like they gotta play a perfect game.
Perfect example to me, the Spurs and the Heat. It wasn't that the Spurs played a bad game. At the last moment, Popovich made a fucking mistake and took Tim. I ain't saying it would have probably won, but I'm saying it that I could point to that. You took Tim Duncan out, Chris Bosh get the rebound, throw it out to Ray Allen. Maybe if Tim Duncan wasn't out that game, he boxed Chris Bosh out.
Right.
That's a mistake that Pop got to think. Damn, was that a right decision I made or bad? He got to live with it. It is what it is. That's just what it is. Sometimes it comes down to that last second play. They could be playing a excellent game, doing the normal. Your thing is, look, you go into a game, you don't be stupid. All right, we may have a turnover, but can we minus the turnovers that we have? You know what I mean? Let's not go out here and go 10 fucking turnovers. Can we have 3 or 4 and really play smart? Like, it's a lot of things you have to do, man. People don't understand how hard it is. You're not going to have no perfect game. The thing is, both teams got 48 minutes to make up for the mistakes out there.
What's up, Marco Hinton? Salute to you, bro. I see you in the building. Yeah, man. It just like from that opening tip to the final buzzer, man, it's just like, it's one thing to miss shots and it's one thing to commit turnovers, but that would piss me off about Russell Westbrook making that comment about, I'm allowed to miss shots and I'm allowed to turn the ball over, not with the volume you're doing it. No.
Exactly. No, you're doing it at an elementary rate. I don't care. I never in my life of watching the NBA seen a point guard that turns that motherfucking ball over in stupid ways that he does. Just dumb ass silly ways that you will see in a middle school game. Probably not even a middle school game, straight elementary kid game. You'll be like, damn, that kid right there, why would he throw that shit? Shooting the ball off the side of the backboards and all type of shit.
I mean, just
he done adapted. Him and James Harden, I'm gonna tell you, they haven't adapted to these new rule changes. I'm gonna point out just a thing that I see. When they were calling the ticky-tack fouls, all the players knew, once this guy touches me, all I have to do is twerk a little bit and throw the ball up, and I'm gonna get a shooting foul or something. If you watch Russell Westbrook, if you watch James Harden, when they drive and the man put a little contact on them, they immediately start pop locking and just throw the ball up, thinking that they're going to get the foul still, thinking that they're still in that type of league. They're used to it, and they ain't getting unused to it. That's a lot of their turnovers. Russell will give you about 4 turnovers off of driving, thinking that he got fouled and trying to throw the ball towards the rim, and it's just a normal turnover. Boom, that's all they call it, turnover.
And then he looking at the ref like what the
yeah, like, man, you don't see him foul me, and then he doing that. See, and I done seen dudes like this, like, they know it's their fault, and they know they like sucking right now. They'll start like, let me see the ball. Like, man, don't ask, like, it ain't nothing wrong with that ball grip. It's you. Like, don't try to ask for the ball. Don't look at your hands. Don't do none of that shit. It's you. He do that shit all the time. I'll be like, I'm sick of this shit. Like, stop looking at your hands. Stop looking at your shoes. Don't relace your shoes. Those shoes ain't had nothing to do with you dribbling the motherfucking ball off your knees and shit or doing that dumb play. That just was a dumb play. The ball gonna do what you make it do. You did some dumb shit.
Exactly.
I don't know why I hate when people blame. Wait a minute. I'm controlling this basketball. The ball do what you tell it to do at all times. You're out here throwing pick sixes. And what I call those is when he make a turnover, they score on the shit all the time. Fast break score. Because why? We got old legs out there that's going this way. And then you think they're going to turn their ass around in the drop of a dime and go chase a young motherfucker down and try to stop him? Hell no, that's the point.
And there was one game, there was in the Sacramento game when the Lakers was up by 20 and they ended up blowing that fucking lead. And there was one play in the game, Russell Westbrook, he pulls him while breaking the shot. Meanwhile, his man already down in the other end about to score.
Man, you got a 10-point lead. You got a 10-point lead, LB. He turned the ball over 4 times in a row. Now what happened to that lead? And they scored off that fast. Poop, poop. That's what he do to you. That's what he do to you. You get up on the lead as an old person, you don't want to play from the back at all. When you're old, you don't want to play from the back when you're older because that's more energy. You're exerting more energy because you're playing with an urgency. You want to play from the front and stay in the front.
Right. But, losing to the Sacramento Kings, man, that's inexcusable.
Man, they losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder was inexcusable as well. Like a lot of games.
Twice.
Like, yeah, like if you just look at it, and that's why I said it's not just Russ, because you could put it on the coach. Like, why you didn't take Russ out? Like, I didn't care. I don't care if you're a superstar, how much money you get paid, what's your contract on your minutes. Phil Jackson didn't give a shit on Mike, on Kobe, or Shaq. If you going out my triangle and it ain't helping, he gonna blow them 2 fingers in. He gonna put them 2 fingers in his mouth, hit that whistle. Come over here, sit down. Come over here and watch the game from right here, and you, because you fucking up. You need to see something because you ain't seeing it out there. He didn't give a damn. Those old school coaches, they didn't give a damn what your name was on the back of that jersey. Sit down. You out there fucking up. Let this dude go in.
And that's what I miss most, man. That's like, you know, and that's what I talked about on my ticket live stream the other day. Or was it yesterday? And I said it on many occasions, man. If you're going to bring in the coach as an organization, you got to empower the coach. You cannot be in a situation where the coach, you feel like the player feels like he can bypass the coach and come directly to you and start bitching and moaning about what ain't going right and all that. And then you get it, you as the executive get the knee-jerk reaction and just fire the coach. Then what the fuck you bringing them in for?
Mm-hmm. Now you got to rebuild. At the same time, people be forgetting. They thinking like, oh, it's a whole new, now they got to build a whole new chemistry. This coach is new. The whole system that you're bringing in is new. Everything is going to change. It ain't going, how you know they're going to fit with this shit? It's the same thing when you trade players, man. Chemistry drop when you fire a coach too.
Right. So
it's not the coach's fault. It's not the coach's fault. Sometimes it's not the coach's fault, man. And that's just facts. Like, and that's what I meant. Certain players knew. They didn't come in there and say, man, we should have ran this, or man, I feel like they should have changed their. No, them players came in there and been like, man, I missed my shots. You know, man, I turned the ball over. Like, they took responsibility for not executing the coach's plan. You wasn't complaining about, don't no player be, if you notice, until they start getting their ass whooped out there on the court, they're not complaining about this man offense while they practicing it.
Yep.
It's no complaints coming way before the season start. They ain't saying, man, I just don't feel this offense. They ain't talking to the media like that. Man, we need to adjust, man. This coach, I don't know, man. They ain't saying none of that until they go out there and don't execute it. Then they throw it on the coach.
Yep.
That's what I see. You're cool with the coach until your ass can't go out there and execute his offense. Now you want to say his offense is bullshit. Why? Because you can't play freelance basketball?
So get this right. The Lakers play Indiana on Wednesday, and they're on a 6-game road trip. They go to Orlando. They should win that. They should beat Orlando. Mm-hmm. They play Miami, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Charlotte, and Atlanta.
Damn, man, those games right there. Woo.
And then they at home to Milwaukee, because they played Milwaukee on the road back in November or December. They play Milwaukee, and they play Golden State, and they go to Utah before the All-Star break. Now, this 6-game road trip was supposed to be the road trip for the Grammys, but the Grammys is not going to go down this year because of the outbreak. Mm-hmm. But normally, this day road trip to allow the people go in and set up for the Grammy Awards and all that type of shit. But yeah, that 6-game road trip is going to tell.
And that Miami, that Miami, that Brooklyn, that one right there, that little. That's gonna
but they won't have KD. But then again, Brooklyn beat the Lakers without Kyrie, without KD. They just had James Harden just went completely ham.
Yeah, man, they let James Harden come. They let. I told nigga Patty Mills, and that's the crazy thing. I said Patty Mills gone. I said whoever Russ sticking, they gonna blow his ass out the water. And you know why? Because if you really look at it, that's why I like. And I was pointing this out, Stanley Johnson, on just his youth and determination. On defense, you can see the difference because he's young. He know he can keep up with those players. He's not worried about them blowing past him. He can withstand their speed. So when you look at Carmelo, you look at Ariza, you look at Russell Westbrook, they're 3 feet away from the offensive player because they know they can't keep up with him. So they need a little head start to react to his move. And guess what? He's laying your ass out with threes, though. At the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, you can't give a professional an open ass shot. He's gonna make it on your ass. And
You
that's
know
what's
what I saw
happening.
in that game? I saw in that game on Christmas night. There was a lot of times where Russell Westbrook was running around here. He was trying to jump passing lanes, and then Patty Mills, all he did was slide to the opposite wherever Russell Westbrook will, and then he gets the ball wide open for an uncontested three. He hit like 9 threes in that game, 9 to 10 threes. The motherfucker had like 30 something points, and all that shit came off 3 pointers. I was so frustrated. Look, when you got a scoring dependent guy, when you got a guy whose value is tied to scoring, and a lot of his shots, because they look at analytics, don't they? Don't the team look at analytics and all that about the percentage of shots that a player takes from the field, whether it be so of the 500 shots he's attempted in the game, 60% of those are 3-point shots. So if his value is tied to scoring, you need to have somebody that's going to stay home on that one player, because the one thing you can't afford to have happen is this player hits a couple shots and then he starts getting hot. And then when he gets hot, it's going to be pretty much game over at that point. So that's my thing about Russell Westbrook or whoever was on the floor guarding Patty Mills. They need to stay home on his ass. What you got?
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like certain dudes that you just know is lethal dagger shooters. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Like that's how I always play like that. Certain days, like if I know if they LB or LB, hey man, you know he got that three. You know he'll light you up on that 3-pointer. Okay, well guess what? Don't expect me to help you, so you better stay in front of your man. Okay, because they're playing to drive on me. You know, if I know where my best 3-point shooter, guess where I'm driving towards? I'm driving on his side, and I'm trying to blow past my man all the time to where whoever's sticking you, LB, has to come over to me and help. I'm passing you the ball so you light his ass up. It's simple shit. And then see Russell, his thing is he wants that rebound too much. He wants that rebound so he can get them triple doubles. So guess what? He's playing close to the box. And then they throw the ball. It's no way. You hear me, Al?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Go ahead.
It's no
Keep
way.
cooking,
You
bro. You
and you know
speaking facts.
and you know this. It's no way that a pass from one side of the court should make it all the way on the other side. A baseline 3-point pass to the other baseline. That gets over Russ' head all the time. You know why? Because he's down there in the box.
And he's out there cheating passing lanes.
Cheating the passing lanes, and they getting the passes to his man. He's turning around saying, "Oh shit," and running over there all the time. That's all he's saying. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's what I see his whole lips saying when he turned around and realized that, oh, they wasn't driving to the hoop to score. They was you're already in the box, so they realize, damn, ain't nobody over there. Pew! And then he nails you all the time. And then if you look at it, it's the same thing with Carmelo, it's the same thing with Ariza and Russ. They're always somewhere near the free throw line in the box. The man gets the ball, they turn around, put their head down, and just put it in their hand, knowing that they're late.
Exactly. What's up, Dale, man? Oh my God. I can't believe she in the building. Juanetta Thomas. What's up, girl? Long time no see you, D. How you been? You out here, man. I ain't seen you in a long time, man. You out here cheating on me. It's good to see you. Yeah, man. That's my sister, Juanetta Thomas, man. Big time Clippers fan. And we gotta play them too. Oh man, look, Trey, I don't know how the Lakers get out this shit, bro. Unless they make a trade, or unless they, somehow having a come to Jesus moment. I don't see how this team does anything if they even make the playoffs.
I'm right. I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. The thing that I see, it's like, look, it's not really. I know it's really not hard, man, to button down and play better basketball. Now, I'm not fit to sit up here and say they can win the championship right now as constructed. Hell no, I don't believe that. But they can play better basketball and win more games right now. If all you got to do, it's just your urgency, your desire, man. I just don't, you know what I mean? I don't see it. Like you said, these dudes came over here with like they entitled to something, like we supposed to give them something and they don't supposed to deliver us something.
Nah, it don't work like that. That's
See,
why
you
the
got
team name
Russ
is on the
when he
front
first
and the
came over
individual
here.
name is on the back.
You got Russ when he first came over here. He talking about I have nothing to prove. Wait a minute, you ain't did shit in the league. What the fuck is you talking about? You ain't got nothing to prove. Everybody know who you is. Yeah, we know you is. You Russell Westbrook, who never won a championship, and they think that can't nobody in the league win one with you. Yeah, well, you're right. We know who you are, but you don't have to prove nothing. You need to erase those. You need to erase those tragedies. That's what you need to do. Erase those tragedies, nigga, that you done made.
Right. That's why I don't, that's the one thing I could. That's why I don't like when people out here trying to compare this player to Kobe Bryant. Don't ever.
Man,
I don't want no player being ever compared to Kobe Bryant because none of them dudes got the drive. They have the work ethic. They had the mentality of a Kobe Bryant. Look, Kobe Bryant brought it every night. You never heard Kobe Bryant talk about how I ain't got nothing to prove.
man, he felt like he had
You
something to
ever
prove.
heard
He
Kobe
felt like
Bryant
he
say
had
some
something to
shit like
prove.
that?
He felt like he had something to prove every day, every night on that basketball court, all the time. It was never look. He was never full. He was still hungry. One championship in, two championships in, 3, 4, 5. He was still hungry like he never won. These niggas ain't even won shit. It's a big problem because I'm gonna tell you, be honest, generation is differently. See, they look at themselves as smarter, straight up. These players think we smarter than them older players. You know, we gonna get our bread. Some of these niggas not here to win championships. Their championship is I got my mama out the hood. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just speaking on what this is it. This is it for them. They don't give a damn about the other level, but they're gonna tell you they do. They just wanted to get the fuck out of the projects, get their mama out of the hood, and make a lot of money in their life. That's it, and be famous in some type of way. That's all these niggas' whole goals was. Not to win championships, just to make some money.
Look, I ain't got
And those
nothing. I'm not gonna knock a dude trying to get his mom out the hood and all that. I'm not gonna
No, I'm
knock
saying
that.
it's not a knock, but I'm saying their goal, that's all their goals was. They really ain't like, man, I'm gonna win championships. They just looking like all I want to do is get my mama out the hood. So some of these dudes that we are seeing play, and we like, damn, this dude, he should be winning championships. In his mind, he may have felt like he already won a championship. See, like these dudes, some of these dudes, their drive ain't that finals appearance. They drive is that bag. They worry about that money.
Right.
So that's what they is. See, some of these players is playing for bread. This generation is more about the money. They don't care about the prestige. They don't care about all that type of shit of the game, like the honor. They don't give a fuck about that. Pay me. This generation is a pay me generation, motherfucker. What can you do? Like, what I'm gonna get out of it? Like, if I go out there and play, oh man, my ankle, I sprained it. It ain't a bad one, but it's like, man, I don't care. It's my ankle, and I'm gonna sit out because I'm trying to make sure I get that bag. But your team need this win. You think you probably can help us get this win? Can you? I could, but I don't want to risk it because I don't want to risk my bag. You feel me? It ain't about the championship. It's a different demeanor in this generation.
Right. So here's a question that was popped up in the chat when we say, "Do I think that the Lakers win against the Jazz is going to turn the team around?" The answer is no, because we thought there was a game where the Lakers had a big win. I forgot what team they beat. Because there were three, like when they blew out Portland, I'm like, okay, this is the game they could this gonna turn the season around. They came out the blowout win, and then they turned around and lose to the Kings, right? Then it was what team did they? It was a team. I forgot what team they. Oh, what game was that early in the season that Lakers won? We thought that was the game that was gonna turn it around.
Um, I believe it probably was. I think they had beat. Dallas.
Was it the Mavericks? Oh, when Austin Reeves hit that game winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Austin Reeves hit that game winner against the Mavericks, so we're like, okay, that's the game they're going. All right, that's the game. Okay, now we go. But they're just too inconsistent. So no, I don't think this is going to turn the team around. I think this team, as long as this team is constructed the way they are, barring any trades, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be a quote unquote signature win versus a devastating loss or something like that. So that's where I'm
And
at
I
on
just
that.
say, like, look, they haven't played like this rotation and took it, like, cutting Russ minutes like how they did. Like I said, it's sometimes effort to win the game for you. Sometimes just your effort and their energy level is the inconsistency is their energy level, their effort. That's what's very fucking inconsistent. They'll come out one game and you be like, damn, this how they need to fucking play every night. And then the next night, them niggas is gassed out. See, I gotta be honest. I know look, I'm 36 years old. I'm telling you, I remember from being young, I could play basketball, and I feel like you really playing worse than they play in the league. When you playing on the streets, it's back-to-back games. It ain't none of that rest. Ain't no halftime. Ain't none of that shit. It's who's next. Drink some water real quick. Boom, and get back on the court. We could play 8, 10, fucking 12 games all day, and I ain't whooped like that. My body ain't aching. I could do it the next day. I could play that many amount. You can't do that shit when you start getting older. I tell a motherfucker right now, when we sitting down, I be like, man, you make me sit down too long, it's over. I ain't getting back out there, fuck around and pull something up. My bones are starting to fuck. I'm getting cold. You know what I'm talking about, LB?
Boy,
Hey,
look,
don't
I
let
tell you
this
right
sweat,
now,
don't
man.
let my sweat get cold, man.
Also, what do I think of Stanley Johnson? I think the Lakers need to sign him for the rest of the year. That's what I think.
Facts. Cause he's fit to cut into some of Russell Westbrook minutes.
We need a wing. They definitely need a wing player that can. And Stanley Johnson. And look, he's not being asked to do much. See, it's not like the situation in Detroit was different, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty much one of those guys that was going to play a lot of minutes, and he was asked to do a whole lot on a young team in Detroit.
And
He's
offense
not
and
asked to do a whole lot
defensively.
with the Lakers now. He's going out there with high energy, playing defense, being scrappy, just like LeBron alluded to about a couple weeks ago when LeBron said we needed some dogs on the team. And Stanley Johnson's a dog.
Yeah, that's what it is. We ain't got no guy. We don't got nobody on our team that anybody on offense scared. I told you, every guard in the league, every wing offensive player in the league, when they can have a slump. They see the Laker game coming up, they like, yep, this one I get out of it.
Yeah, because Stanley Johnson's second 10-day contract is up, and at this point, after the second 10-day contract, you either got to sign the player for the rest of the year or you got to release him.
They better sign his ass. Don't be stupid, LeBron. Don't make up for this Russell Westbrook shit and sign him.
Yeah, so Stanley Johnson, yeah, they definitely need to not play no games and sign him for the rest of the year. You can stick him on the other team's best offensive player, and I think I ain't watched the game last night because I was at work, but I had it on good faith. He probably was on Donovan Mitchell most of the night.
Man, that nigga had 13 points.
Because if I was coaching the Lakers, right, and I know I got a team like the Utah Jazz come in and they got a dynamic playmaker like Donovan Mitchell, that's probably who I'm sticking Stanley Johnson on.
And guess who else?
And I'll probably mix it up between him and Avery Bradley, just to throw multiple looks at Donovan Mitchell. You still there, Trey? Yeah, his mic might be a little messed up, but still. Yeah, Lakers definitely need to make that move. Don't play no games. Don't fuck around. Sign him for the rest of the year. There's a lot of bums on that team that you can get rid of and keep Stanley Johnson on the roster and all that. And he's starting to become a fan favorite of them as well. So I like the move. I just hope the Lakers be smart and actually make the move. But as far as Frank Vogel go, Frank Vogel, man, he's on the clock. I mean, he's literally every game is an evaluation, which means he cannot afford another 37-point loss against anybody. He cannot afford another blowout loss like that. It's one thing if they lose a close game, but it'll be a whole nother thing if they just, non-competitive, just getting blown out of the water. Because at that point, I think Frank Vogel will be fired. He'll probably might get fired after the game for that, if not the next day. So they got some really tough games coming up outside the Orlando game, which they should win, and the Indiana game they should win. But then again, Indiana ain't no gimme game either. I mean, their record may not look like they're a good team, but they're a scrappy team, and Lakers can ill afford to take them for granted, especially with Frank Vogel being on the clock. But you guys, let me know what y'all think about all this. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Thanks to my brother Trayvon for coming in, chopping it up. My sister One at the Thomas of the building. It's good to see you as always, my sister. And everybody else that's gonna be watching this video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And support the channel. If you want to donate, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. And I appreciate everyone love and support. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your boy. Scream at me. Hey!